We had 3 stages principally. There were 3 milestones, stage 1, 2 and 3, and their levels of completeness of documentation. We're currently well into stage 3, which is structured documentation for the project, but from the state's perspective and them being our client, it's review documentation that they finally sign off on. So we've started that journey and we're probably around about 30% through that.
I think the difference on this project is that it was a BIM-enabled project, and as we've indicated previously, it's really forced a change in the way people work together, the way they collaborate. Once upon a time, people could run away and hide in their own little disciplines, but now when we're building this model, this virtual model, we're reliant on all our partners to keep up their end of the bargain. So it's no longer an architectural model, it's what we call a federated model. So the model that we all contribute to has architectural elements, it has structural elements, it has building services elements, and without those other contributions, the model doesn't stand up and it doesn't read. Well, I think the key here is that there was already a substantial amount of consultation done in the process of arriving at a bid proposal. We engaged with the state through the bid process to get to what is substantially a master plan, which has really not changed through the design development process, and a facility planning solution which has had some tweaking, but again has not substantially changed. So it's important in a PPP to remember that, that yes, there is a level of engagement, but it is about getting on and the private sector getting on and building the facility. So yes, there was engagement for the purposes of validation, and we did some, how many, 440 user engagement, so there was quite a lot of that, but it was a validation process more than a start from a blank piece of paper and briefing the project.
I think it begins essentially with the quality of the documentation that was produced through the bid phase. We went in a very strong position, a very healthy position with our understanding of the design and the client's understanding of that. So essentially from day one we were into design development, and that was taking those documents to sort of 80–90% complete with the state already on board with the sort of big design. So that meant we started very fresh, very quick. And we had the same team that was from the bid phase as well. So we had that continuity, so we were up and running very quickly. So as Ernest described, we were just validating our design for that process and tweaking and refining, but we weren't wholesale redesigning.
Probably, as I said in my presentation, one of the key differences here is the model of care. It really is an exciting piece of work that was undertaken by SA Health. We can't take credit for that. I mean, SA Health are really the people who have innovated there. But from that, I think as Stuart indicated in his presentation, the brief was open in terms of, it wasn't prescriptive, I guess is what I'm trying to say. And we had to respond to this challenging model of care with an innovative design. But we can't take credit for the concept of single bedrooms. We just responded to that, and I think, as I said in my presentation, the single bedroom that we've come up with, the design we've come up with, is unique. We've re-engineered the way people think about hospital bedrooms, but at the same time we've addressed the parameters that the brief put to us. So it begins, I mean, we designed this from the bedroom out. We didn't start with a spaceship and shoehorned a hospital into it. We actually started with the most basic element, which was the bedroom, and from there developed the patient journeys, developed the master planning, etc.
We believe we've changed the market, particularly in Adelaide and Australia, indefinitely now. Our supply chain is all using the software, the technologies, the models, the consultants are very well developed in the use of it now, and we're now starting to see this use of this technology on similar projects across the country.
So you've been able to kind of test it, a lot of things, do you think, with this project? That
it's not new in terms of the rest of the world. It's been used in the US and Europe extensively for probably the last 10 years. It's certainly new to Australia, and the application of it is growing very quickly. We're very much at the front of that in terms of bringing the supply chain up to speed so they can roll it out across any other project.
I think the difference here, Stuart, is the scale. Certainly what has challenged us. I mean, what we're doing on the RAH has certainly been done on other projects in this country, but on a very much a smaller scale. I think the scale that we're operating at is truly unique in this country.
And the amount of stakeholders we've engaged with this scale is very special. We know our entire supply chain are using this software and these technologies, which a lot of other projects will take it to a certain point and then decide, well, I'm not going to take it any further. We've taken it from that sort of cradle to grave scenario where it's used throughout the life of the project.